Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Kind of not exactly a first listen review for me. It's more like a 500th listen review, I swear. It's actually the 40th anniversary celebration of Bon Jovi's self-titled debut album. This album was released exactly 40 years ago on January 24th, so they decided to do this super deluxe edition, which is actually just an extra CD, and then I guess there's this cassette thing in here too, which is kind of cool. But anyway, this album, I'm sure everybody knows who Bon Jovi is. For me, when this album came out, I am not ashamed at all to say that I love Bon Jovi. It was one of these bands that got me excited about music. I was really young when they came out, and this album has the distinction of being one of only two albums I ever wore out and just actually would not play. I played it so much, and I love this album. It's like every song on here. That was so much fun listening to this again. I haven't actually listened to it in quite some time, and it was just fun listening to it again. It's been remastered. The remaster actually sounds really good. I worry about remasters sometimes because a lot of them I've heard you lose a little bit of something while you gain some other things, and this one actually, it just gained clarity and it didn't lose any of the bottom end like sometimes happens with these remasters, so I was actually really happy to hear that. And the thing they did with this is they brought in Obi O'Brien, who's actually been one of the sound engineers that Bon Jovi's worked with for quite some time. There's some extra stuff here at the end, some live songs that he remixed. They were actually already available previously on the Bon Jovi Special Edition, like way back in 2010, but they've been remixed for this. The cool stuff here is the writing stuff that they added in, which I love. I love writing songs. I started writing songs when I was like 10, 11 years old, and that's what made me want to play music, is because I was already writing stuff. My mother played guitar. She had a guitar sitting around. I used to try to write stuff on it, and so that when I heard this, it made me want to even try to write even more stuff. So when I listen to how this stuff was written, it's actually really cool for me, because I loved, even to this day, trying to write stuff. And it starts out with a little demo of John singing and playing guitar, and then there's a pre-production studio demo of it, which is really cool to hear that. And there's an alternate version of the take they did of that, and then there's the extended version, which I didn't even know existed, which has a solo at the end of the song as well, which was killer. And a lot of people maybe not know the history of that song, but Bon Jovi, the band, didn't create that song. He had session musicians from, he worked for his, I think it was his cousin or his uncle, I can't remember now, Tony Bon Jovi. Man, I can't remember. It was either his cousin or his uncle, I can't remember now. Somebody's gonna have to remind me of that one in the comments here. But he was working there. He had to be somewhere between probably around 20 years old, I think he would have been at this point in time, and he was recording a bunch of demos. There's releases of all that stuff, and I've heard them all and they're really not great songs. So it's kind of funny that this one is still cool to this day. I actually was in a band that played the song, so it's just kind of cool to hear that extra thing at the end that I never knew was there. And then they do a studio rundown with his vocal reference version of it in there for the song "Come Back," and that was kind of fun to listen to. Just kind of hear another little production thing going on, and then it ends with the 4 live songs, and it was just fun to listen to that. Because I guess I didn't really pay much attention to this when it first came out. It's sometimes bonus stuff I love bonus stuff, but sometimes when it's live stuff you don't pay as close attention as maybe you would. But I'm sitting here with the headphones on listening to it, thinking, wow, these guys were tight. The background vocals are really good. The band is really tight. Tico Torres was relieved from his duties for not being able to play well, but he sounds really good on here. And John's singing really well, although Roulette was a little rough in the verses, but the rest of the songs sound really, really good. And they added a little bit of stuff to Breakout and Get Ready, and extended those a little bit. And it's funny listening to Richie Sambora play guitar on Runaway, because he didn't play guitar on the album, on that song on the album. And I think in later versions, I remember him playing the solo similar to what the original was. But on this one, it's nothing close to like what the original was. It's definitely just him doing his own thing. So it was kind of fun to hear. But it was actually really fun to go back and listen to all the songs. I was actually in a band in college. It was like one of these project bands you do when you're in school. And it's like you get a bunch of musicians together, and you actually get credit for forming a band. And we did the song Roulette, and that I just remember that being like really fun. That's such a fun song to play, and my favorite on this whole album is Breakout, but they're all really good. And it's funny because there's a song called Shot Through the Heart on here, which another band I think called Surgeon actually redid that song. And of course, Shot Through the Heart, of how you go, well, Bad Name starts. So I remember people confusing that like way back in the day with stuff. But I mean, really every song on here is really good. Even the album tracks, there's only 9 songs on here, but even the album tracks are really good. And it was fun. I just really love this album. I remember when 7800 Degrees came out, 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit came out, and I heard that, I was like, wow, this is way different. Like the guitar sound on that album, I actually, to this day, I still can't stand that guitar sound, but the songs were so much heavier, aside from maybe In and Out of Love and Only Lonely, but the rest of that album is actually pretty heavy, and they really changed direction after that. But then, of course, everybody knows Slippery When Wet, huge. But it's funny, they don't play any of these songs live off of either one of those albums, and like Breakout's an awesome song, and Roulette, like I said, an awesome song. The song She Don't Know Me, they didn't write that one, but so it's kind of surprising that they don't play that one. It was actually released as a single, but didn't really become a huge hit or anything like that, but still like the song. But I don't know, I could babble like on and on, because that's what I do. It says right in the description, I babble, so I tend to do that, especially with stuff that I really, really like. And this just was just a fun trip down memory lane, and it actually kind of makes me want to go listen to some of the other earlier stuff, because I still like Bon Jovi. I never stopped liking him. I know he's had some vocal issues lately, but man, he was killing it on this album. Just young, and he has that high pitched stuff. It's actually funny because he did that falsetto thing at the end of Runaway live and like nailed it, like spot on. I think he actually done it better than he did on the studio version, quite honestly. But I don't know, it was just fun listening to. So anyway, as always, I invite anybody who has any cool Bon Jovi stories they want to share, or memories, or anything they want to mention about this album, because I'm sure people have heard it. And if you haven't, go break it out, listen to it again. I'm sure it's been a while since you've listened to it. I can promise you're going to enjoy it again. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Help keep the music alive, because even Bon Jovi doesn't keep these songs alive. So they need our help on this one to keep these songs alive, even though they just released this. But you know what I'm saying. So anyway, talk to you guys on the next one. We'll see you.